I just opened that up, and you came out of nowhere and walked straight in. You didn't even hesitate. Gonna make this fun on me, huh? Gonna make this one fun? Huh? What do you got to say for yourself? Taking over my suitcase. You want to go to Israel? You want to go to Israel? Yeah. Hi there, Adrian Scott here, and starting the big trip. This is round one, just getting on the ferry to get over to the mainland, and already hit snag number one. This is going to be an adventure, so I may be looking at a 2 sailing wait. So sitting here waiting in a line for almost 6 hours just to get on for a 2 hour ferry ride and a drive on the other side. So I can only imagine what the airport's going to be like. But here we go. I have made it. I'm purchased and I'm just waiting for my opportunity to get on. So hopefully I will not be sleeping here. Although I do have the room in the back of my truck, I could set up a mattress and have a little nap. But there we are, just a quick update. I'm going to add this to some other stuff and how the trip has started. Phase 1 and already a hitch. Bye for now. So hi there, it is Adrian Scott sitting at the ferry terminal waiting to be boarded. Now, the initial impression was that I was looking at a full 2 sailing wait, which would not have me leaving here till about 5:45 or something like that in the afternoon or early evening. But it actually is not looking too hideous that I may actually have an opportunity to get on the 3:15. I'll have to do an update as we go here, but I'm kind of got my fingers crossed. Little prayer. If I am able to get on the 3:15, that would certainly make life a little more leisurely. I wouldn't be racing stuff as much. One of the concerns is with the fact that I am doing Yom Kippur, that the way... So the time clock is an interesting thing because it's really sundown to sundown in Jerusalem. Is what the time of day is determined. So effectively, once you hit sundown one day, that starts the next day until sundown that day, where we kind of go the midnight to midnight thing. But the whole point of that is we're not in Jerusalem where we're at here. We're in lovely British Columbia, but so we can't do sundown to sundown via Jerusalem standards. So we kind of do the next best thing that we can come up with, at least in our house. And we've chosen 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that's with that in mind, wanting to, or what would make getting on the 3:15 so much nicer would be the idea that I would be able to get out of the vehicle, relax, and just hang out before 6 o'clock. I'd be at my final destination. Whereas with the 5:45, because it is a Holy Convocation, you know, there's no purchasing or anything. Now, tickets to get on the ferry are already done, but you know, I have not had a meal of any kind, and heading into Yom Kippur is a day of fasting. I don't eat during that period of time, so it's either the hours leading up to that or bust. So kind of hoping I'll have to keep everyone updated, but the adventure continues, the saga continues from here at the BC Ferries Terminal, Duke Point. And I just seem bound and determined to get these airplanes up in the sky behind me here. Me and airplanes every time I'm recording a video. All right. Shalom and blessings. Well, I hope you enjoyed that part 1 of this series of videos on my trip to Israel. This was me getting over to the mainland in preparation for heading out to the airport. And the trip to the airport and all the flying, that's going to be part 2 coming up here. I just wanted to take a quick opportunity and just mention that there is no recordings or anything in between me getting on the ferry and once we were heading to the airport, which was 2 days later or a day and a half later, because again that was Yom Kippur, and the commandment in Scripture for Yom Kippur is that you would afflict your beings. That's the primary thing. That it's a day of no work and so on and so forth, but that you would afflict your beings. And as I mentioned previously, there's a lot of different ways to interpret what that affliction might look like. Just different people do different things. So the approach that I've taken is to really separate it as a day of affliction and to really separate it from any other day, to remove the things that I normally would have in my day. And probably the 2 biggest ones are food and electronics, as I'm very frequently playing on my computer or on my phone or whatever it might be. So for that reason, by the time I was getting to the other side of the ferry, it was close to 6 o'clock, which is when we do it in our house, is 6 to 6. So I just didn't record anything. The music went off in the vehicle as I'm finishing my drive. And yeah, so that's why there's a little bit of a gap in there. But I still think, I mean, the nuances of everything are still captured. So again, I hope you did enjoy that. Please give a thumbs up, give it a like, share if you found it entertaining or in any other way useful, and I hope you come back for the next one. It'll take a little bit of doing to get that edited together, but I'm starting to work on these things. I've got all the pieces in place. I just kind of have to assemble them. And my other video series that I am planning on doing, they will be happening, but right now I'm just kind of working on getting this Israel stuff put together. But my Hebrew Roots 101 and my Creation and Evolution, I've not forgotten about those. There will be upcoming videos in that as well. Just working on this trip to Israel for right now. And that's one last point I just want to make is, you know, particularly in the midst of everything that's going on right now in the world stage and world affairs and everything in that part of the world. So I want to take the opportunity to really focus on the positive of this trip, which was the majority of it. The craziness really didn't break out until the last couple of days that we were there. And yeah, I want to make it more of a positive experience. It's a great place to go. I would absolutely go back when a lot of this stuff isn't happening. And again, I just, you know, would continue to ask that you do continue to keep Israel and the civilians in Gaza that are being affected by this. There's more than people might realize that are not necessarily behind Hamas. They're just, frankly, they're too afraid to speak up or do anything about it. But that we would keep all of those people in our prayers. That this would just resolve with as minimum bloodshed as possible. And yeah, on that note, I just really thank you all for being here. I thank you for checking out all the videos. Just appreciate the feedback we do get. Encourage you, I mean, feel free to drop those comments below. I do try to get to them as often as I can. Or you can email us. That will follow subsequent to the video here. But it's truthandtestimonyemail@gmail.com, by the way, but Ray will let you know in just a second here as we wrap this up. So until the next video, blessings to you all in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus our Messiah. You have a great day. We'll see you soon.
You've been listening to Truth and Testimony, the broadcast. If you have a comment, please leave it on the bottom of this video or email us at truthandtestimonyemail@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Truth and Testimony, the broadcast, is not affiliated with Truth and Testimony magazine.